Well, good evening, Portage Bible Church. Pastor Ben here for our follow-up video based on our sermon series on the book of James. This past Sunday, we covered James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4. And here in this Tuesday night video on June 22nd, I want to take just a few moments and remind us of some of the key ideas that we talked about and how we are going to continue to apply these truths of Scripture. But James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4, by way of reminder, says this: "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds. For you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." Count it all joy. I mentioned on our video back on Thursday that there are certain books of the Bible, maybe for you, this is the way it works in my mind at least, that when you hear that book, certain passages come to mind. When you hear the Gospel of John, it's probably chapter 3, verse 16. When you hear maybe the book of Proverbs, you think maybe Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, and so on it goes. And I think for me especially, maybe it is for you, if you're familiar at all with the book of James, it is those opening words of verse 2, count it all joy. Words we like, words we're familiar with, and then we remember the context. Count it all joy, my brothers, that is, believers in Jesus Christ. Count it all joy when we meet trials of various kinds. The fact of the matter is, as believers, we are going to face trials in this life. Our study on this book of James, our major theme or title, is the fact that our faith is at work, or faith at work. And one of the ways that God goes to work to prove our faith, to test its genuineness, is knowing the fact that we are going to face trials in this life. As the book of James unfolds, there will be further examples that he's going to give in greater detail about what it means to go through trials and what trials really look like. But here in these opening words, they are quite vague, by just reminder that all of us who are followers of Jesus Christ, who are walking with him, all of our lives are, in one sense, unique. We are facing different things, different health problems, different financial reasons, and loss of loved ones, and so on. And at the same time, as believers, we're all called to face these circumstances or these trials the same way, with the same attitude. And that is the attitude of that God is in control. He knows what he's doing. And the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, are we going to trust him with these trials, knowing that he's using them in our lives? One of the things I challenged us with on was this idea that the trials of this life are meant more like Christ. For God is sovereign over all of them. So when we trust that he's in control, we're trusting that he is going to do this work through our faith to make us stronger in our faith and more like Christ. But if we reject these trials, if we act like they're not a big deal, or we try to go out of our way, in a sense, making our life a little bit complicated to make sure that we're more in control and these things aren't actually happening, we're rejecting the work that God is doing in us. We're rejecting that he wants to make us more like Christ. It sounds quite severe and maybe a little bit over dramatic, and yet at the same time, we may not say that, but our lifestyle may demonstrate that. We'll go out of our way, inconveniencing others or circumstances in life, to make sure that life fits exactly the way we want to, because we want to do our best to avoid any trials, any hardships, any difficulty. And that's just not reality. The fact of the matter is, we need to trust that God is in control. And that's what I want to challenge you with at Portage Bible Church. Do you trust that and know that God is in control? Do you really walk by faith, believing that God knows what he's doing, even through the difficulties of life, the circumstances that surround us? When our health fails, when we lose a job, when we lose a loved one, when we're mocked for our faith, do we know that God is bringing these things into our lives to test our faith so that our faith can grow strong in him? Now, it doesn't mean they're easy or haphazard or that we are to take them lightly, because pain is real. Tears are real. Frustration is real. But at the same time, through those tears, do you believe that God is in control? And that's the question we need to ask ourselves each and every day through the trials. God, I trust you, that you know what you're doing, and you're going to use it for my good. Even though I don't like it in the meantime, in the moment, in this day or this week or this year, whatever it may be, I know that you're in control. One of the things I challenged us with as we ended was a song by a Christian artist named Laura Story and her song Blessing. After I post this video on the church Facebook page and you can watch it, I'm also going to post that video. So I challenge you just to go watch it, listen to her lyrics, and take time to just ponder and reflect how God is at work through our trials. Hope you have a blessed day and a rest of the week as you ponder these things, and we'll talk back with you later. Have a good day.